Thomas, so how did you get involved with Vibram?
Wow, that's a great question. Well, that's a good question. I started out with Vibrams, I'd have to say maybe about 5.5 years ago. I was walking in the mall one day and I saw these shoes. And they look like gloves for your feet, man. They look really, really funny. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. And I thought about it, man. I'm like, and I looked at the shoes and I looked down at my feet and I'm like, wow, that looks like something that God made, because God made the feet and the shoes kind of mimic, you know, the feet. So I'm like, this might be a good idea. So I bought a pair, and they were funky first, starting to wear them and getting used to them and sliding my toes in. That was a challenge at first. And then I started walking in them, and they began to work with me, man. It began to work with my whole lifestyle, because I wanted to learn how to walk on this earth better as a man, and these shoes fit just right in with what I was trying to do for myself in terms of my growth.
That's cool. So with the shoe, how do you feel? Is it like super supportive? Like what's up with the toes? Like I always see people talking like 5-finger toes, man. You got to have them. Like what's going on there?
I don't have a lot of arch, and I thought that was going to be a problem at first, but it wasn't. Starting off, yeah, they made my Achilles tender, starting to walk in them, because it was totally different from the way I'm used to walking. I'm used to walking in shoes that have a bit of a cushion in the heel, so I was heel striking a lot. Walking in these Vibrams, I began to land more on the forefront of my feet, and that felt different. It put a little more pressure on my Achilles, which made it tender. But as I kept walking in them, my Achilles and my calves got used to what I was doing, and it became easier. And that's it's an adjustment period, of course. I mean, especially if you're used to walking in those heel type shoes. Walking in Vibram is going to be a change, and yeah, if you're going to get a pair of them, I suggest you walk in them for a while, get used to them. It worked for me.
And why do you think it would work for most people? Do you think it would work for most people, like having these shoes?
You know, that's a good question. I think it would work for most people if they would just walk into them and break them in. Especially if you're used to walking a certain way, man, your entire life. Vibram is going to show you something totally different. And if you jump in them right away, start sprinting, start doing all that stuff, yeah, it's gonna shock your body like anything else. But I think if you take your time, learn how to walk in them properly, after a while, I think the rest of your body is going to get used to them. So for most people, I'd say, yeah, there's an adjustment period, but allow yourself to get used to it. Allow your body to understand what it's going through in terms of relearning how to walk this earth.
That's great. Okay, so is there a tie-in with something that you are doing with the Vibrams? Is there some direct tie-in to something that you're working on?
Yeah, I mean, Vibram, like I said earlier, taught me how to walk on this earth better. And as I began to understand my relationship to the earth, I began to train within the earth better.